future. Get ready for the ride. We're going down to hell tonight, so strap yourself inside. There's a glaring contradiction in your world that's made of glass. Something small can shatter it and nail you to the past. The road beneath your wheels, the madness that you feel. Oh, you will pay with your life.
Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, Armored Saint's new album, Win Hands Down. And with me today, the master pizza eater himself, Mr. Giles Lavery. What's going on, sir?
That's me, man. I had a lot of pizza last night.
Let's start off with a brief little history of Armored Saint. They start off with the EP, went off to do March of the Saints with a minor hit called Can You Deliver? After that, Delirious Nomad, a very loose conceptual album. Then after that, Raising Fear, probably one of my favorite of the first albums by Armored Saint. And after that, Giles, what did they do?
Well, after that, unfortunately, Dave Pritchard passed away. It was looking, real tough for the band. They regrouped with Symbol of Salvation. A great record. They had some success with that, but obviously not the kind of level of success that they hoped for. John Bush called to join Anthrax, so it was 10 years before they, did another record, being Revelation, which came out in the late 90s. And then John, did some more work with Anthrax periodically, some live shows, and for whatever reason, it was a very, very long time before La Raza came out, and here we have another gap, of some sort of 5 years or so, and the new record, Win Hands Down.
And I gotta say, in the first chapter of Armored Saint, the band, they were good. I enjoyed the records, but there was something missing. There was always a direction that was missing. Maybe the production wasn't, the band just didn't sound as good as they sound today or in the past, let's say 15 years. Well, let's say since Symbol of Salvation. On Symbol and Salvation and on, the band just got it right in terms of production, in terms of vocals or guitars. Yeah. It just sounded right. And here we are today with Win Hands Down. And Giles, right off the bat, I put this album on my first listen. I'm just shocked at how great this album really is. What did you think on your first listen?
It's a really cool record. I mean, obviously this is not the Armored Saint of the 80s. Neither was the previous record, La Raza. So there's going to be that division between fans that, this is a band that are kind of incorporating some different styles and influences on the last couple of records. It's not much of the Saint. It's not Raising Fear. It's not Delirious Nomad. There's a little bit of Symbol of Salvation in there. There's probably a little bit more La Raza in there than anything, continuing with some of those more experimental tracks, like Dive and In an Instant are two examples of that. But then again, the title track and songs like Mess and Exercise In Debauchery are, a fairly typical Armored Saint with a slight, experimentation, but nothing too radical. If you're into Armored Saint and you're into everything they've done up until the present day, then this will be, another record from them that you'll really, really, really enjoy, because I did. I've given it 2 listens so far, and I'm really impressed.
What I really like about this album, it's not verse, chorus, verse, or bridge, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Yeah. It's not your typical standard song structure. They mix it up a lot. You'll have like 3 bridges. You'll have these cool, funky middle parts, a little bit of bass solo, a lot of emotional guitar solos. It's not just speed for the sake of speed. You're talking about emotional guitar solos. And John Bush, he sounds fantastic. Probably one of his best vocal performances. What they did is they've taken all their experiences, be it in Fate's Warning, be it in Anthrax, everything they've done up to this point, and it's on this album. And like you said, this is more of a, I wouldn't say complex, but more versatile in terms of song structure. So favorite tracks, Giles, what were your favorite tracks on the album?
That really jumped out at me. I mean, I really love the title track. I think that's cool. A Mess is really cool. A Muscle Free is got a bit of a floaty kind of vibe to it that was kind of present on a couple of tracks on the last record, La Raza, which I really enjoyed. That was then way back when. It's cool. In Exercise In Debauchery, I really love the verses. The chorus, I don't think that line in Exercise In Debauchery kind of sings that well over a chorus. To me, it sounds a little kind of jammed in there. But I love the verses of that song, so I'll pick that one too. And I really like In an Instant as well, which is, again, a more kind of relaxed vibe to it, which I really like too. A little bit like Muscle Memory.
And then we also have a guest appearance by Pearl Aday, which is Scott Ian's wife from Anthrax. Again, Armored Saint doing something different. On this album, you hear little jazz bits, you hear little reggae bits, little reggae drums here and there, a couple of bass solos, and like I said, John Bush, truly the highlight in regards to vocalist and lyricist. Muscle memory, about one's legacy. That was then, way back when, online Facebook, that's what the song's all about. So you even have a song with a piano intro, which is called Dive. And not only is there a piano intro, but the piano is the driving force of the song. It's the lead instrument. Win Hands Down that everybody knows, I don't know, it just keeps growing on me. It's that sort of like the hit of the album, just a car driving song. And there's a song called In an Instant, which is basically about the Boston Marathon terrorist attacks. So it's about that. I don't know, I don't think there's any bad tracks on this album. I think they're all like fantastic.
There's the song about Facebook. That was then way back when.
That's right. Cool. That was just being stuck online and just, friends online, friends you wouldn't talk to, in day to day, but when you get on Facebook, suddenly they're your friends. So there's only really 9 songs off this album, but every song is a little longer than usual for Armored Saint. I'm going to rate this album. You ready for this, Giles? I'm going to rate it. You ready? Here it comes. Here it comes. 9.2 out of 10. This is probably one of the best.
They're doing what they want to do, and they're exploring different areas musically, which I think is really cool. So they get an extra point for me for that alone. So I'm giving this record an 8. I can tell it's a grower. I haven't quite discovered all the the nooks and crannies of this record yet. So I'm knowing that I will. So I don't want to give it too low of a rating, and then later on come back and go, wow, I've listened to it more. I really like it. I think it's going to be a real strong 8 for me.
There you have it, Giles Lavery, 8 out of 10. And as for myself, 9.2 out of 10. Go pick up the new Armored Saint album, Win Hands Down. A must. See you next time on The Metal Voice.